charred remains of Stormwind Keep. Those that escaped fled across the Great Sea, bringing tales of the suffering they had faced at the hands of the Orcish hordes. To engage in battle once again, the Orcs constructed ships of war to bear them across the Great Sea. The Orcish warriors yearned for the sounds of battle to fill the air and looked to the far horizon for new blood to spill. Using the weapons forged by their new allies, the humans made haste to prepare for the onslaught. While dwarven cannon were being loaded, others armed themselves with elven steel and mail. With new allies against a common foe, mankind stands at the shores of destiny and awaits the coming of the Tides of Darkness.
Horde is preparing to launch an assault against the mainland of Lordaeron. Orgrim Doomhammer, war chief of the Orcish hordes and ruler of the Blackrock clan, has ordered you to establish a small outpost on Lordaeron's southern shores. To secure the Zuldare region as Doomhammer demands, you will need to construct a barracks and several farms to feed your troops. Your success may help us determine the extent of the pathetic human defenses and what resistance they can offer against our forces. Spies report that a band of human soldiers have captured a war party led by troll commander Zuljin and have taken them to a secret prison near the township of Hillsbrad. Seeing an opportunity to place these captives in debt to the Horde, Doomhammer sends you to ransom Zuljin and his trolls and return them to their own encampment nearby. The war chief believes that this raid upon the unsuspecting prison will strike terror into the hearts of those who would dare resist the Horde. In preparation for a final strike on Hillsbrad, the war chief directs you to begin construction of facilities for the Orcish armada near the South Shore region. Zuljin and his trolls, eager to take revenge upon the humans who imprisoned them, have agreed to aid the Horde by supplying axe throwers and destroyers to assist in defending your South Shore operation. A shipyard must be constructed in order to build our wave riders, and you will need much of the black liquid known as oil to build your fleet. Our assault on Hillsbrad cannot begin until your task is completed. Now that the armada is well supplied with the precious black substance that your tankers have amassed, Doomhammer feels it is time to make a gruesome example of Hillsbrad. With the aid of new foundry sites that allow you to construct more advanced ships, you may build transports to deliver your forces across the channel to the cowering human settlement. All who oppose the Horde must be taught a harsh lesson. Leave no one alive. The township of Hillsbrad has been decimated, and throughout the human kingdoms, the rumors of impending doom spread like wildfire. War Chief Doomhammer is pleased with your success and has deemed you worthy of a more difficult task. Troubles have arisen in the dwarven lands of Modan. A task force of Stromgarde warriors have laid siege to Dunmodra, a vital staging area for Horde troops. to retake Dunmordra, and then bring your forces to bear against strong guards nearby island citadel of Tol Barad. Doomhammer has sent word that the ogre mage Cho'Gall, chieftain of the Twilight's Hammer clan, is personally inspecting the refinery at Grim Batal. Cho'Gall and his convoy will be traveling through the badlands of Khaz Modan, and an ambush by Stromgod warriors is expected. The war chief expects you to safeguard Cho'Gall and his minions through this region. Should he die, your life will be forfeit as well. Cho'Gall reports that the Khaz Modan refineries are well maintained and fulfilling their quotas. The Horde will now have more than enough oil to mount a fierce campaign in the lands far to the north. Only the troublesome human defenders of Stromgod remain to be dealt with before sending the Horde on its next sojourn. The human fleet has captured a group of our transports just south of Stromgod. Recapture these vessels and then lay waste to their capital. Forces have been assigned to an area along the southern border of the Elven kingdom of Quel'Thalas. Gul'dan, hoping to sow the seeds of chaos among the human and Elven allies, has located a mysterious Elven artifact near the keep of Cardero. This huge, monolithic runestone is guarded by a human castle on the small island located in the middle of Darrowmere Lake. You must destroy the forces that guard this relic and gain control of the runestone for use by the Horde. Capture of the Elven runestone, Gul'dan has been able to warp the power it contains to mutate an entire legion of his loyal and ruthless ogres into wielders of arcane magics. Along with this transformation, these ogre magi have been granted deadly magics and a malicious cunning rivaling that of Gul'dan himself. You are to employ the ogre magi in the creation and defense of a fortress at the mouth of Tears Bay, cutting off the human supply lines into Quel'Thalas. Stratholm, the chief source of Alliance oil in the north, is preparing to deliver massive amounts of oil to the kingdoms in western Lordaeron. You must sabotage their refineries and platforms to halt this shipment. Once Stratholm's ability to gather and process oil is destroyed, proceed to crush any and all resistance offered by the Alliance. Destruction of Stratholm, the Alliance supply lines to Quel'Thalas have been severed. Only a handful of human and Elven defenders remain to safeguard the ancient Elf kingdom from the onslaught of the Horde. The enchanted domain of the Elves has inspired Gul'dan to unleash his most perverted creation, the Death Knights. Born from the corpses of the fallen Knights of Azeroth, these once proud defenders of humanity now serve the Horde in a blasphemous state of eternal undeath, conjuring dark spells of necromantic horror upon their terrified foes. These Death Knights seek to unleash their wrath upon any foolish enough to stand in their way. fallen, and now only the western regions of Lordaeron stand defiant before the ultimate supremacy of the Horde. As the Orc clans prepare for their final massive campaign against the weakening alliance, the War Chief sends you ill tidings. Gul'dan and his Stormreaver clan have betrayed the Horde and coerced the Twilight's Hammer clan to set sail and search for an ancient tomb said to be buried beneath the waves. An infiltrator under the direction of Doomhammer reports that Gul'dan has indeed raised volcanic islands from the ocean floor and thus has opened a hidden vault. While it is unknown what the Great Warlock has released from this tomb, the War Chief has issued this command: destroy the renegade clans and return with the head of Gul'dan. The hour of judgment is close at hand as the Orcish Horde stand ready to sweep across this domain like a pestilence and seize the capital of Lordaeron. Standing vigilant above the plains like the descending arm of Twilight itself is the violent citadel of Dalaran. The citadel, serving as sanctum and haven to the mages of Lordaeron, is the last barrier between the orcs and their subjugation of humanity. Manifested in the combined magical prowess of all mages within the Alliance, this place must fall for the Horde to conquer Lordaeron. Fortunately, Orgrim Doomhammer has saved his greatest weapon, ready to unleash it upon the unsuspecting Alliance at just this moment. Dragons. Alabaster parapets of Lordaeron's capital loom before you in the distance. The proud, defiant armies of the Alliance stand resolute in their final, fleeting moments. All that remains is the shrill, clarion call to battle and the fulfillment of our destiny. The tides of darkness are now at hand. Pyres burn high into the twilight skies covering the ruined capital of Lordaeron. Your success has led Orgrim Doomhammer, War Chief of the Orcish Hordes, to elevate you to the station of Warlord, thus giving you power and the command of your own clan. The Alliance has finally been crushed, with all those surviving being slain and cremated as is dictated by the rituals. At long last, Azeroth and all of its lands belong to the thunderous force known to those foolish enough to stand in its way as the Horde.
Position as regional commander of the Southern Defense Forces, Lord Terenas commands that you raise an outpost in the Hillsbrad foothills. It is rumored that Orcish marauders have been raiding coastal towns in the area, but whether these attacks are part of a greater Horde offensive is as yet unknown. Your outpost is to provide food and information for Alliance troops, and as such, should be a community consisting of at least 4 farms. You must also construct a barracks in order to safeguard the Hillsbrad operation. The mysterious elves of Silvermoon have sent a contingent of archers south to survey the supposed orcish threat for themselves. Our spies report that shortly after passing through the Alterac grasslands, the elves were ambushed by Horde troops. It is believed that these elves are now being held in a small prison camp near the northwest region of Terran Mill. Lord Tyrannus, fervently hoping to enlist the elves into the Alliance, has asked that you search for the missing warriors and deliver them to safety. The elves have sent a cadre of archers to assist in your quest. You will also be provided with plans to construct an elven lumber mill and the Sylvan craftsmen to operate it. The safe return of the elves from the loathsome clutches of the orcs, the Council of Silvermoon has resolved to combine the armies of Quel'Thalas with those of the Alliance of Lordaeron. As a show of their support, a mighty fleet of elven destroyers have been sent to help safeguard the Lordaeron mainland. In preparation for the arrival of these ships, Dalen Proudmoore, Lord of Counteroffensive and Grand Admiral of the Lordaeron fleet, has ordered that you begin the construction of naval facilities near the township of South Shore. There is some suspicion that the Horde has constructed a secret base near the mainland, so it is imperative that you begin building your defense with haste. Having established some order in the region with a display of naval power, Admiral Proudmoore advises that the time has come to search out the secret lair of the orcs. Scouts report that this base is located somewhere within the Zuldare region of the Channel Islands, just southeast of Hillsbrad. Lordaeron artificers have completed designs for a foundry. With this new innovation, you will be able to construct transport ships that can ferry your troops across large bodies of water. These vessels should provide great assistance in the completion of your task. Has been driven from the shores of Lordaeron. It has left the townships of Hillsbrad and South Shore in ruins. It is clear that the war will cost the Alliance dearly. Impressed with your victories against the Horde and the destruction of the Zuldare base, the High Command has decided to dispatch you and your troops to the main battleground. The forces of Stromgarde and Counteroffensive are stationed along the northern border of Modan, fighting to keep the orcs from advancing into southern Lordaeron. An orcish outpost nestled near the ruins of the ancient dwarven city of Dun Modra has repeatedly beaten back Alliance troops and ravaged the surrounding farmlands. You must reclaim the nearby island keep at Tol Barad and then launch an attack upon the outpost. Following their defeat at Dun Modra, the orcs were forced to retreat south across the Vandal Valley to a secondary outpost at Dun Algaz. Lord Lothar, hoping to push the orcs even further back into Modan, has ordered that you destroy this newly discovered encampment. To aid you in your mission, you will be able to employ knights who are eager to engage the Horde in glorious battle. Scouts report that they have located Grim Batal, the primary base of the Horde's refinery operations in Modan. Seeing a chance to strike a decisive blow against the Horde, Lord Lothar has ordered that you infiltrate Grim Batal and put an end to all orcish activity there. Once Grim Batal has been destroyed, Lothar believes that the orcs will have no further use for Modan, thus pulling their forces back to the mainland of Azeroth. Victory could secure the shores of Lordaeron and greatly impede the Horde offensive. destruction of Dun Modra and the downfall of Grim Batal.